and welcome. We come to you from outside Sandhya Theatre in Hyderabad, where in fact 20 days ago exactly, when a premiere show of Pushpa 2 was being held here, this is where actor Allu Arjun had come in along with his team, along with the heroine and other production unit members. And this is where a stampede-like situation happened, after which a woman died, 39-year-old Revati, who had come along with her 9-year-old son Sritej, a younger daughter, as well as her husband had come here, and she died in the kind of overcrowding that happened here, and her son has been in hospital for the last 20 days. The entire issue has escalated into not just something that is looking like a face-off between Chief Minister Revanth Reddy and actor Allu Arjun, but also a standoff between the film industry and the government, and it has actually snowballed into a huge political controversy as well, with both the BRS and the BJP talking about the issue and speaking about this as something that the state government has mishandled. To discuss all this and more, I have with me as a guest here Mr. L. Ravichandar, who is an advocate, as well as someone who has been a film critic as well, watches films very closely. I have with me Vijay, who in fact has been was an eyewitness to what happened here on the night of December 4. We are also joined on Zoom by Mr. Dr. Shravan Dasoji, who is a spokesperson for the BRS party. We also have Kasturi Shankar, social activist and actor, joining us, and also Arun Chidambaram, who is a filmmaker, joining us on Zoom on this show. First, let me go across to Vijay first. So many versions have now come across about what happened on that particular day. You were here for the premiere show. What was the situation looking like that day? Because we are right here outside the gate of the theatre, and this is where the tragedy unfolded.
Firstly, I'd like to mention that it was very unfortunate that what has happened, that we have lost a life due to this incident. And honestly, none of us were expecting that kind of crowd here. So I had no idea that there were going to be close to 2,000, 3,000 odd people. So wherever you see right in front of the theatre on this road, and even on the other side of the road, it was filled with people. And I could hardly find any police. Right from day one, that's what I've been saying, that I could hardly find any police. And Chikatpalli police station, surprisingly, is less than a kilometer away. So there was no law and order being maintained at that point, and there was no private security of the theatre on ground. And all the private security and the police were doing was to make way for the VIPs to go through. So they were using their...
Were you aware that actor Allu Arjun was expected here? Did people here seem to know that he was going to be coming?
Yes, that was the only reason why people showed up here. And the PR team had already released it on their Instagram and Facebook and social media handles that Allu Arjun is going to visit the theatre. And otherwise, nobody else would show up to the theatre. They came here to watch the movie, not to watch the walls of the theatre, right? So why would 3,000 people show up at a theatre if they didn't have tickets? The only reason they showed up was to watch Allu Arjun. I honestly didn't have any idea, but I got to know that later. So the police must have not given a permission, but they had a clue that Mr. Allu Arjun was going to visit the theatre. So honestly, and the police was only trying to make way and use the lathis so they could let the cars through the gate. So if they didn't give any permission, why did they even allow him in the first place? I understand Mr. Allu Arjun should have acted with utmost care, knowing that, there are a lot of people, but completely throwing the blame on him is not fair. He has to be charged, but he has been charged under culpable homicide, which I don't think is a fair charge. I think he should be charged under harsh and negligence act of 305. So nobody...
We have here a lawyer as well, advocate at the High Court. What you're telling us, Vijay, is something very significant, because while the version of the police and the actor have been suggesting something else, you are suggesting that since it was advertised widely on social media, everyone would have known that the actor was coming here. So why wasn't the police force prepared either to deploy their security forces on the ground or to stop him from coming here and creating that kind of a chaos? Is that what you read into this situation?
Well, I'll start off saying I'll go with everything that the official version of the story is. A, that the theatre had not met the commissioner and therefore they ought not to have done the premiere show. Not correct, because the letter was with them. If they were sitting on an ego platform as to they should come and sit at the CP's office, wait on him before they get permission, that's not done. Two,
But there is a written denial of permission that the circle inspector has given, because that is a local police station where the letter was initially addressed asking for permission, the local police.
The local police said that no no premiere show will be given. Then there's a violation by these people. I get
Premiere show was allowed, but the actor coming in was not given permission.
Was
The
it even sought?
It was sought. The theatre management had sought permission for the actor to come in and participate in the premiere show along with the fans, but
Then there are two aspects to it. One aspect is, should the theatre ask for permission at all for somebody to come in here? I'm making a film, my film, it's a film with high stakes. I would definitely like to be a part of it. On what basis is the police saying that you will not be permitted to meet your fans? Because I can't manage the crowds that are coming to see you. One. Now, don't forget, down the street at the other end, a similar problem came up when Da Vinci Code was being released. The then government said, we will not allow Da Vinci Code to run in the theatre because we see the likelihood of a law and order problem. The High Court struck down that defense and said, no, your job is to maintain law, your job is to maintain order. The challenge for the police was, is, and ought to have always been that if you're getting a huge crowd, how do you manage it? That's
since we don't have a police representative here nor a government representative, I will mention this to you that the circle inspector, Mr. Ravi Nayak, in the letter that he addressed to the theatre management in response to their application, has mentioned that this theatre in fact has a 70 mm and a 35 mm. It has a single entry gate and an exit gate. There are multiple theatres in the vicinity, and this is a very busy crossroad, and therefore it will not be possible for us to manage the crowds, and therefore we advise you not to come to the theatre. That's what was conveyed to the theatre guest as such, but
they advised him not to.
Not advised. They denied permission for him to come here.
Okay. Then the point is this. The next question, que Allu Arjun, is, did Allu Arjun know about it? Did Allu Arjun know about it? Because in the complexity of the scenario, there's the distributor, there's the film theatre, the actor, the producer, and all and sundry. Now, there are repeated stories said in the media about videos showing the police talking to Allu Arjun, police asking Allu Arjun not to come. Okay, let me ask you this. Whenever there are these rallies going on, you stop Rahul Gandhi somewhere, you stop some other politician somewhere. Why could you not stop Allu Arjun somewhere?
Yeah. Okay, I need to go to my guests as well. While your point is well taken about saying, can you put the onus on the actor, or could you have stopped the actor from coming here in case there is a problem? I must go across to Mr. Arun Chidambaram. You're a filmmaker. In this particular case, there has been this talk that perhaps the actor has been singled out for punishment. Of course, there are others who are mentioned as part of the FIR, but because he happens to be a high-profile person. But the debate has once again come up about a celebrity having to take responsibility for what happens when he goes to a crowded situation. As someone from the film industry, how do you view this? Obviously, he is not the one who is responsible for law and order in that area, but he does have an onus of the responsibility of ensuring that things don't go wrong, knowing fully well that there is a craze for an actor who has been delivering super hits.
Yes, for sure. I certainly believe that, every celebrity, being a celebrity adds more responsibility. And as I told earlier, in another debate as well, is one single point, which is whenever a celebrity shows up in public, okay, he has, his bodyguards accompanying him, right? So when he has bodyguards, why does he have the bodyguards? The only reason is to protect himself, and to safeguard himself. So when he is safeguarding himself, when a celebrity is being safeguarded, so should the public also be. So that brings the case that a celebrity should have should be even more responsible. And that being said, as everyone says, right, I'm also with the same opinion that he is not alone at fault over here. But there is also one more thing that needs to be taken under consideration. Me being from the film industry, I certainly believe that everyone is trying to get mileage out of the situation right now. Okay, every political party is trying to do this. Everyone are trying to like do this and forgetting the core problem. And and I think that is really very important. And I think we are deviating from the core problem here. Agree that there was negligence, and there needs. And I agree. I also agree with Mr. Vijay, who said in what section he should have been, an FIR should have been with him, okay, or he should have been there should be a case with him. But on the other front, right, I think since he's being a bigger star, we are focusing only on the celebrity, and we shouldn't deviate from the core problem. And I think we should focus what the core problem is, and how and the lessons learned out of it, and how we ensure that this doesn't happen again in the future, and what are the disaster management plans which we are going to have in place. So that needs to be there, and also what about the family? So who's going to take care about that? And so if I think if we just focus on that, that should be good.
Right now, because a lot of attention on the family after the Chief Minister pointed out, and I do realize that from the day the child got admitted at the hospital, when there were very, very few visitors, yesterday or day before or in the last few days, we have had dozens of visitors, which is creating its own problems for the hospital as well as for the child in terms of the infections that they carry into the ICU, and also for the patients. But I must reassure everyone that all parties involved here have extended their support to the family and said that they are going to support the family in every possible way, financially at least. But I'm going to go to Kasturi next. Kasturi, in this entire issue, there's been a lot of mix of politics that has snowballed this into something much, much bigger than the accident itself. Of course, it was a very, very tragic and unfortunate event that happened. You have been at the intersection of politics and films as well. Do you believe this is unavoidable when something like this happens, for the opposition parties to make their stance clear in this issue, and for the government to then come forward and start justifying their actions, all that in a sense also muddling up the entire issue in the court of law?
No, there have been many other controversies in Andhra and Telangana, even nationwide, Uma, and many a time the government has shut it down. And I'm not talking about this particular instance. I'm saying we have seen many, many instances where people don't say a word about burning problems. Opposition cried itself hoarse over Manipur, and the government maintained a stark silence about it. In Telangana itself, there is a burning problem of narcotic drugs being sold at even schools. And this particular commissioner himself used to be in charge of busting those narcotic peddlers. So there have been times when this has been questioned, and the government says the law is taking its course, the police are taking its action, the government will not interfere. There has been a spate of food poisoning happening in Telangana, and the government has chosen not to comment on it. So it's very, very unusual when the chief minister of a state goes for a 1-hour tirade against an individual in his state, blaming him squarely, belittling him, denigrating, generalizing people from the film industry, giving interviews when a matter is sub judice. These are all very peculiar. And now it has got, so it's not
Kasturi, I must also point out here, while you are talking about the chief minister talking inside the state assembly, Kasturi, I must point out, because we do not have a Congress spokesperson, that yes, the debate was initiated by another member, the MIM leader, Mr. Akbaruddin Owaisi, who in fact said that he had heard a particular version, he wanted a clarification from the chief minister, after which the clarification or the elaborate kind of a sequence of events that the chief minister lined out, while also saying in the same breath that he is conscious that he is the Home Minister and the Chief Minister, and what he says could have an influence on the investigation as well. I'm also going to bring in Shravan Dasuju into the debate now. You're a BRS spokesperson. You have been, in a sense, at the core of this issue also because your leader, Mr. K.T. Rama Rao, has chosen to make social media posts during the arrest, even prior to the arrest on several issues, because of which in many senses, should I say, this issue seems to have escalated out of all proportions. And now your party continues to say that all this should be only in a court of law, and why is the Chief Minister talking in the Assembly?
Uma, I think I wish the conversation that the discourse that has happened in this show is heard by Mr. Revant Reddy, and then probably would have gained some wisdom from the conversation of Vijay and Senior Advocate Mr. Ravichandra and the other gentleman and the lady who spoke. This, unfortunately, there is a very blatant negligence of the government in terms of not being able to conduct a screening of a small show in a small club. It's a blatant negligence and incompetence that they could not provide the property comes, number one. Number two is there is a very serious manipulative intention of the government to gain the undue advantage, victimizing one individual called Mr. Allu Arjun, ignoring to extend empathic support to Ms. Rati and to Mr. Teja. Even
Mr. Shravan, we seem to be having some problem with your Zoom line, and therefore we are not able to get your audio. I'm going to go across to Ravichandra again just to ask this question, that at a time when now there is an investigation ongoing and it is going to go to the court of law, it's already in the court of law, and yet you hear these voices, political parties commenting on it, you have the government itself commenting on it, the police speaking about it, and the actor as well, who is an accused in this particular case. How does this complicate it inside the court of law? Can they really remain immune to what happens outside?
I would hope that the judge hearing the bail whenever it comes next is immune. I think systemically they are trained to keep away from most of these voices. Human as we are, sometimes some kind of pressure does work somewhere in your psyche, but I'm sure she will eschew it all and hear the matter on its merits. To me, it's such an open and shut case. It is such an open and shut case that in case the judge tomorrow comes to a conclusion otherwise, I'm inclined to believe that pressure has begun to work. Otherwise,
when you're saying an open and shut case, what do you mean by that?
I mean that in a case of this kind, he necessarily needs to get bail. He's called, he's come, he's cooperating with the matter. He's not a flight risk person. It's not anybody's case that he planned the killing. So everything is pointing against him except negligence. The worst scenario.
So what Vijay pointed out in terms of the sections of law seem to be a little inappropriate.
He seems to have done his homework and come. I believe that the worst scenario would be negligence, culpable homicide, none of which would require him to be in jail pending prosecution, pending investigation. And how much judges, the prosecution and the lawyer who's arguing the case, the lawyer arguing the case is an extremely accomplished lawyer, Mr. Niranjan Reddy. We have a very, very, very committed public prosecutor in Palli Nageshwar. And we have a perfect judge in Justice Sridevi. Let's see if it works out as it should.
Okay. So I will just go back to Mr. Shravan to complete the point you were talking about. Mr. Shravan.
You know, this government has been completely failure in terms of not being able to provide appropriate security measures at the theatre so that there is no stampede, number one. That's an absolute incompetency, number one. Number two, in order to cover up their failure of not being able to provide the security, they are only victimizing and targeting that Allu Arjun is the only sole responsible person here. Just as if at all Arjun is responsible, whether it is negligence or whether it is any other section that is applicable to him, they are also equally applicable to Mr. Revant Reddy, is the Home Minister, or to the police, number two. Number three is that they are not only showing their manipulative intent, but they are misleading his entire legal discourse also. On the floor of the assembly, when the matter is subjudized, almost for about 1 hour, 1.5 hours, Revant Reddy has the audacity to make mudslinging and insult and make all kinds of allegations against Mr. Allu Arjun. The other thing is, we are all talking about the letter submitted by Sandhya Theatre to the police and the police rejecting. On 4th, the stampede incident happened. On 11th, Arjun got the bail from the court. And on the day of the legal proceedings in the court, the police never produced this handwritten letter to the court. They have not produced. They only produced after Arjun got the bail.
I must point out here, Mr. Dasuju, that Mr. Shravan, I must point out to you that while you are suggesting that the letter of denial of permission to the Sandhya Theatre management had not surfaced in the public domain earlier, but I do understand that it was submitted as a court document. But I would reckon that there has been some gap in the communication strategy of the police, it would appear, because of which that letter was not put forth in the first.
Uma, I am very sorry about it. I think senior advocate Ravi is there, Ravichandarji is there. In fact, I have watched the entire court proceedings where Mr. Niranjan Reddy and the public prosecutor were arguing. The judge has very categorically asked, do you have any evidence to present to the court where you have rejected the permission to Allu Arjun? They said that they have not produced any document. Now they are misleading. Now their misleading and manipulation has gone to such an extent where police also is involved in it. They only make accusation. Now, when the matter is subjudized, they conduct a
Okay, you are making an allegation for which we do not have a police representative or a government representative who can counter that. But I did speak to the circle inspector this afternoon, and I've spoken to some senior police officers and lawyers as well, who did say to me that the letter denying permission had been submitted in court as a document, and that will be a matter of record that we can check out. But we are running completely out of time. Shravan, sorry if I will have to interrupt you there, and thank our guests, Kasturi Shankar, Arun Chidambaram, Vijay here, who has in fact put forth a very, very important point about the deployment of forces, and Mr. Ravichandar here, who was able to tell us about the legal aspect of it and why he thinks this should have been an open and shut case as well. We will continue to monitor this case, report to you the twists and turns that it seems to be taking. As of now, there seems to be an attempt on the part of the government as well as the actor to try and de-escalate this entire issue, with the Chief Minister issuing a kind of a diktat asking spokespersons not to comment on it. And the actors' team has also said that they will not want to right now comment or make any provocative comment that can escalate matters in a different direction altogether. But picture abhi baki hai, because the police is going to issue summons once again to Mr. Allu Arjun, and he is expected to be brought to this theatre for the reconstruction of the scene. And yes, the police also intends to challenge the bail that has been granted to Mr. Allu Arjun in court, and they're getting legal advice for it. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks all my guests for joining us with your valuable inputs.